This is St. Paul, and the different styles of architecture behind Paul represent the many churches he founded. So Paul was the traveling saint, the founder of many churches, so to speak. And so you also have a boat there representing his journey across the sea, and again, the many churches that he founded. And this is the last of my many favorites. This is the eternal supper, so to speak. Life in community is what this is called. And you have Jesus at the top with Mary, the first. Mary in Catholic tradition is known as the first disciple. And then you have the saints gathered around the table, the eternal banquet. Remember back at the Nativity in Luke, I asked you to remember a shape. Do you see that shape?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is that? It's an altar. What happens on altars?
Breaking of the bread.
Breaking of bread, also known as before sacrifice. Okay? And so this image is used as the manger in the Lucan nativity to represent that Jesus comes to us to be sacrificed from his very birth. They wanted to avoid the cute little baby Jesus in the manger. So from his very birth, from the time of his very birth, he comes to us to be sacrificed. And the table isn't closed off. It's open, representing the Catholic understanding of, in our baptism, we're all called to this table. We're all called to the holiness of the saints that is there. There's two other aspects to this that I point out. In the circle, you have two styles of church architecture that are represented on the campus of St. John's University. This is the more modern style of architecture in what you saw, the Abbey Church. And this was, for its time, and actually still is today, considered very modern. It's what's called Bauhaus architecture. And it was where what's known as the liturgical movement in the United States began. If you're Catholic, one of the things that's a church trivia thing is that the first Mass said facing the people took place at St. John's University in 1959 in this church. You'll also notice what's known as the Stella Maris Chapel. That's across one of the lakes on campus. And that's kind of the ancient or conservative style of architecture. Notice that both the progressive and the conservative are still in the circle, representing that we can have both and still be a church. We don't need to always be fighting with